Hello there, students. Welcome to average monthly expenditures, because just looking at one month is not quite good enough. We need to take a lot of months and then take their average so that we know, what is our electric bill going to be today? What is our phone bill going to be next month? Because in order to predict what's going to happen in the future, we must analyze the past. Now, speaking of bills, there are two main types. There's a variable bill or a variable expense, something that you have to pay. And variable means it's going to change. Right? So you could think about this as electricity usage. Sometimes when it's really hot, you use a lot of electricity. Sometimes when it's really nice and you can leave the windows open and feel the cool breeze, you don't need that air conditioner on. And your bill drops because the main driver of your electric bill is your air conditioning unit in most places. Other bills always stay the same. Video streaming services, you can pay your $8, $12, $15, or $20, whatever service you're using, and that's the same every month. It's like clockwork. You can think about your phone bill. Your phone bill is typically the same, unless you blow up your data plan and are not on Wi-Fi, which I wouldn't suggest. I've had that happen to me. It's really painful. But most of the time, your phone bill is the same. So we've got fixed expenses, always stay the same. Variable expenses change with usage. Let's look at 3 months worth of expenditures down here on the board and determine whether they're fixed or variable, and then take the average so we can expect what they can be in the future. So here we have our electricity bills for the months of April, May, and June. April looked like it was pretty hot. May, the bill went down quite a bit, so maybe it was a cooler month. But then June had an unexpected heat wave. Temperatures in the high triple digits. Make sure to keep your pets indoors. Always have water outside, because it's $324. That's ridiculous, but that's actually like a real bill that I had. I live in Austin, Texas. I had a real electric bill once. It was $324. It's like, my house is super old, so it doesn't keep the cold air in quite as well, but that one was shocking. It hurt. We have mortgage. The T is silent because it's a French word. Mort means dead in French. And if you know Spanish, you might know the word muerte, dead as well. So mort or muerte, mortgage. All right, in French, this means death pledge. Yes, isn't that nice? A death pledge. So you're sitting here I'm taking business math course. Mr. Rogers, can you tell me what a death pledge has to do with business math? Well, a mortgage is when you borrow money from the bank and buy a home. And then you promise the bank that you're going to pay them back. In medieval French times, you would actually call this a death pledge, because you'd be like, on my life, I swear I'm going to pay you back because you helped me buy this plot of land and this house, and I'm going to pay you back. Thank you for letting me borrow the money. So mortgage is the amount that you owe a bank every month for buying a house, because they lent you the money, and now you pay them a little bit every month. So electricity, we knew that this was variable because it changed with the hot months. But what's interesting about the mortgage is that it's fixed. All right, mortgage payments typically are the same every single month, so you can have that consistency. You know that your death pledge, your mortgage, is due, and it's the same amount every single month. Your car loan, typically a fixed amount. Here it's $282 all the way across. And then water, the less water you consume, the less you'll have to pay. Sweet. You'll notice in the cooler month, we didn't need to water the plants outside. We didn't need to fill our little splash pool up. It was just $8 worth of water. That was beautiful. But then it got super hot, and we needed to use more water in order to keep our plants alive and ourselves cool in the kiddie pool. All right, so $43 here when it was hot, and $8 when it was cool. So this is a variable expense. Now, you might be tempted to say, Mr. Rogers, let's not do averages for our monthly expenses. Let's just pick one month. Let's pick June. here's the issue. If you just pick June, and you're like, this is how much I can expect to pay, you're going to be over budgeting because it's not always going to be that hot outside. And you're not always going to need to use this much electricity and this much water. You say, okay, well, scratch June. Let's just pick May as our base month. Let's say most months are like May. Well, again, that's not really a great idea because you're going to be under budgeting. Like electricity was unseasonably a low cost, and water too, you barely used any water. So I just don't think that picking 1 month is a great idea. When you could pick 3, because we have 3 months, just calculate the average over 3 months. If you have more data is always good. If you have 6 months worth of expenditure data, do all 6. Here we only have 3, so we'll use all 3. So 204, 132, and 324. We add these expenditures up. Not too challenging here, so we don't need the calculator. That'll be 10, that'll be 6, and that'll be 6. Now, $660 is the cumulative electric expenditure for 3 months. So let's figure out what the average is for 1 month. So we take $660, you divide it by 3. 3 goes into 66 22 times. And then you have the 0 at the end. So the average for electricity is $220. And just to gut check yourself, make sure it's like in the middle of these numbers. It's a little bit bigger than 204, bigger than 132, and less than 324, because the average should meet in the middle. So that's a better use of your time for budgeting, because you're able to see, yeah, it's like my average electric bill is $220. Mortgage, well, that's really easy. 841, 841, 841 divided by 3. If you want to add those up and divide by 3, knock yourself out. But they're all the same number. So the average is just that number because they didn't change at all. So this is $841. That's the beauty of finding averages of fixed expenses, is you don't have to do any work. 282, 282, 282. 282 is the average. Yay! This is like really when you feel good about yourself. You're like, I can do averages with 3 triple-digit numbers just like that. And people are going to be like, wow, cool. And you're like, yep, just have to be fixed expenses mostly. I can do it immediately. Yep. Oh, we have one more variable expense. What am I thinking? 21 and 8 is 29. 29 and 43 is 72. So we have $72 cumulatively. This was variable, so we need to divide by the 3 months. This goes in 2 times. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So we have $24 as an average water bill, and that kind of makes sense because it's in between 43, 8, and 21. You have 8 and 21 on the low side. You have 43 on the high side, and 24 is right there in the middle. So always gut check your averages, right? Gut check. Do you know that? I love that term because basically when you gut check something, you look at the number and then you look at the numbers that comprised it and you say, does that give me anxiety? Did I do that right? And you just want to look at it and you want to say, does it make sense with the other numbers around it? So when I say gut check, just ask your stomach, like, does that feel good to you? Yes. So not everybody's stomach can talk, but mine can. So that is how we do average monthly expenditures. Add them all up, divide by the number of months. If you have fixed expenditures, the math is especially beautiful. Have a great day.